Hello, welcome everyone to the Delmar Show. Let's talk about superheroes for a moment. What can you say about them? Well, they're just plain awesome, especially the movie adaptations that gross millions and sometimes billions of dollars at the box office. However, one superhero who I feel sad for is Superman. Why? Well, I mean, yeah, there are 5 films based on him, but only 2 of the films I actually really enjoy. However, the good news is that there's a new Superman film set to be released in June, which is awesome cause I like Superman. But enough about Superman in movies, how about Superman in video games? Yeah, not so much to say about them either. When it comes to video games, developers aren't very friendly to Superman. I mean, yeah, there are some average games, but none that reach critical acclaim or get noticed a lot like Batman or Spider-Man. Well, except for one Superman game, for being one of the worst games of all time. Yeah. So, to tie in with the upcoming release of the new Superman reboot, we're gonna take a look at Superman on the Nintendo 64. Oh, hey buddy, calm down. It's just a Superman game, don't you worry. Cheer up, Charlie. Give me a smile. What happened to the smile I used to know? Now this game is based on the animated TV series that was on during the exact same time. I don't have much memory of watching it back then, but after rewatching a few episodes on YouTube, it's not that bad. But I wish I was watching the TV show instead of reviewing this game. Alright, so what's the story? Lex Luthor has created a virtual version of Metropolis. As Superman enters LexCorp, he sees Lois, Jimmy, and Professor Hamilton getting trapped inside the virtual Metropolis. As such, Superman enters the fake Metropolis where Luthor tells Superman that the only way to save his friends is to go through his maze. Well, this is an interesting concept. Superman must go into a virtual simulation game to save his friends. How can someone mess up a concept so simple? Now let's try the training mode first to get used to the controls, cause this game is notorious for its bad controls. And honestly, they are really sensitive and do take some time to get used to. As you expect, the analog stick moves Superman around. But take for example when you're trying to fly through these rings. You have to be precise when moving Superman at high speed or else you'll make too tight of a turn or too right of a turn. The other buttons are really standard. C makes you walk down and fly up, holding B makes Superman fly, A is punch, and the C buttons are your heat, ice, visions, and to guard. Though there isn't a way to control the camera, so you can't move it around and look at the environment like in Mario 64. Also, this doesn't have anything to do with the game, I just kind of find this funny. The way that Superman walks backwards makes him look like a semi-truck reversing. Now that we got the controls down, let's start a new game. And our first mission is... flying through rings. Then what was the point of me playing practice mode? Actually, I'm glad that I got to go on practice mode first. Why? Because now, there's a time limit! Yay! So you have to fly through all these rings before the time runs out. And if you miss about 3 or 4 of these rings, you have to start all the way back to the beginning. Luckily, the first set I had to restart once, so it was pretty easy. Notice how I said first set of rings. Okay, the next one, I guess I'm picking up these cars. It's hard to tell seeing how the text box left quickly. So after that minigame, we get another set of rings. Hooray! So you gave me only 20 seconds of a semi-enjoyable level, and then you put me back into a 1.5-minute long ring course that's really boring and actually kinda difficult at times. Ugh. This is gonna be one of those games, ain't it? Oh, and remember how I said the first set of rings was easy? Well, guess what? They get harder as you progress in the game, and this is where the controls get very frustrating for me. Sharp turns, wide turns, and even when you think you're at the right angle to get the ring, you miss it. One ring I constantly missed was this one that blends in with this corner, and it's too tight of a turn, so how can I go through it? The only way to go through these rings safely is that sometimes you hold B down but yet it go when making a turn, which is fine, but there's a time limit, so you gotta be quick with it. But if you're not careful with the controls, you end up missing a whole lot of rings. You get the basic idea on how clunky the controls are with the ring levels. But finally, I made it to the last ring. And this time, I'm taking a police car away from these thugs.
Do not fret, citizen! I shall save
you. But I was just nearly close to grabbing him, and now he suddenly exploded. And one of the thugs just committed bombicide.
Okay!
Back to the rings. Got the cop car to the end of the road, and hopefully we have something different. More rings? Are you kidding me?
You know, when I think of a Superman game, I think of flying around, fighting criminals, and enjoying a good story. But when I think of rings, time limits, and broken game mechanics, I think of Sonic 2006. Thank you, Tita Software, for making me rethink of Sonic 2006 existence. Thank you, you sons of cheesecakes! Alright, yes, take a break from the gameplay and focus on the wonderful presentation. Yeah, the game looks like
It is
Oh good, it's not just me.
Now, I'm not one of those people who think that the graphics makes the whole game, but I do believe that a game's graphics can help immerse the player into the game even more if done right. Like the giant world and atmosphere in games like Minecraft, Epic Mickey, and Psychonauts. But this? It looks more like a beta build or even an early prototype of a Superman game. The only thing that stands out in this game is Superman, and even then he doesn't look that great of a model. Also, there's a huge amount of fog in the area. Gee, I hope we're not entering in Silent Hill. And I know that we're in a virtual metropolis made by Lex, which I guess may excuse the game's poor graphics some, but couldn't he have done a better job at making it look like Metropolis? I mean, what is he paying his workers for?
Mr. Luther, we are almost done running our virtual metropolis.
My gosh! It looks like a piece of crap!
Well, the only resource that you gave us, Mr. Luther, was an Appaloosa Mark 1, so as you can see, development isn't looking so swell. Maybe if you could give us some more access to our updated computers, or, you know, actually give a crap and use your money to fund more for the project, I say it shall look better in 10 months.
Oh crap, it's Superman! It'll have to do.
Okay, how does a virtual simulation game of Metropolis have to deal with Superman?
Oh, silly doctor. I get Superman in the virtual simulation game, and he'll be stuck there forever. The only possible way he could get out of the game if he beat all my mazes, but no one cannot beat my ring courses!
How is this supposed to defeat Superman, sir?
I'm evil!
My guess the reasoning for so much fog is to make the game run smoother, but even then the frame rates tend to drop time to time. Also, there's this weird error at the bottom edge of the screen. It looks like it's not even textured, and even if it was supposed to be like that, it's just weird and also kinda pointless cause the rings are in front of me and I could just follow them. As for the music, it's generic and forgettable. Next! So after this set of rings, we get to fight 4 different enemies, or Dark Shadows as the game calls them. Insert Dark Shadows and Tim Burton remake film joke here. Well, okay. This is starting to act like a Superman game. Granted, you only briefly fight them, but still, at least I get to punch something. Hooray for violence! Okay, so far Superman had to face ring courses, picking up cars, and fighting the Heartless Mafia? So what else can Superman fight in this virtual reality? Well, tornadoes! Apparently. What you're supposed to do is to use your freeze breath to weaken the tornadoes, but you have to be very close to them and they will shrink in size. The only thing I'm confused about is how a tornado can run on water. Is that even possible for a tornado? Heck, it's not even touching the water, it's just spinning around in midair. So how is this possible?
Could you at least let us try to fix the tornado glitch first?
Evil!
So after stopping the tornadoes, I get another ring segment, and now we're inside the dam. And here's where the game should get better, but it gets worse. To me at least. So a bomb has been set to flood the dam, and Superman must find the bomb before it's too late. Thankfully, there's no time limit here, cause if there was, I would have thrown the controller down and say screw it. The only enemies that are guarding this dam are these robots here. Oh, and the cardboard boxes. They're explosive too, apparently. Okay, I found this key card here. I go down a level to open this door, and open. And open. And open? Open, damn it! Okay, I must be really stupid here, cause you would think that you used the card on this keypad here and the door will open, right? But no! You have to go back to the main computer room where you first started the level at, and then the door will open. I know that seems like a very minor thing to complain about, but still you would expect the door to open on this little keypad here instead of this giant Taddy 400. And how hard is it to get out of the elevator? Apparently hard for me, cause bad controls.
Are you sure it's not you just sucking at the game? You are controlling him, right? I mean, seriously, you can't even get past through something simple like an elevator for crying out loud.
Do you want to go back in the box?
No, so I don't want to go back in the box.
So now we can go through the door, but first we have to fight some robots. That wasn't even close! So now I'm at this area place where we have these rejected Mega Man enemies to watch out for, and it's here where the game gets so boring. Also, remember that arrow that showed us where to go next? It's gone now, so I have no idea which way to go next. It's a never-ending cycle of torment. Where do I go? What do I do next? I'm so bored! And I died. Well, somewhat died. I'm still floating, so screw this.
Well, that's why I stopped playing this game, and I know some of you guys are a little bummed out that I didn't go through the whole game, but honestly you're not missing a whole lot. There's some more wing levels, more mediocre action levels, and there's some boss levels as well, but they are unplayable. And really, if you played this game before, the first 20 to 40 minutes can really sum up how bad this game is. It's incredibly dull looking, with the game's graphical specs looking like it wasn't even complete, and the music adds nothing to the game and is easily forgettable. And while I think the idea of Superman going inside of a virtual metropolis may have been a decent story, it's done very poorly in this that you forget that there's even a story at all. But the biggest complaint I have with this game is its gameplay and controls. I don't really know how someone could mess up such an easy concept of an open world action superhero game. And I know it can be done like hell. If Spider-Man and Batman can have awesome gameplay in an open world environment, why can't Superman? I think it's because of this game that many developers are afraid of making a Superman game because they're worried they're making the same mistakes that T2 Software did. Okay, EA did that, but they sucked from the very beginning. And this game really does deserve the title as one of the worst games of all time. It's practically one of the worst games I played, period. Well, aside from one other game, but I'll get to that one in a later video. So, on a Mullins grade scale, I give this game a F ranking. And that's all the time we have for today, folks. So, if you'd like to leave your thoughts on today's game, just comment below. And no, I'm not gonna recommend this game. No, I'm not gonna recommend it. I mean, it's fairly cheap and all, but I say if you're an N64 collector and trying to get all the games for the system, it's something to add to your collection. But not something for you to play. I mean, just no. And now, if you'll excuse me, I need a hammer. Hold on. And now, Son of Joel, it is time to kneel before Delma.
Hey, thanks for watching this video, and welcome once again to Video Annotations Time. For those of you who don't know how this works, this is the part of the video where I recommend 2 of my videos and leave a link to that video so you can watch it and enjoy it. I love advertising my stuff. Occasionally. Anyway, if you would like to watch the previous Del Mar Show review on Mickey Speedway USA, just click the techno-colored image. And if you would like to watch one of my Thomas comedies, just click the title card made by Thomas Fan 101, who's a really awesome friend of mine. So, actually, I'm going to leave a link to his channel so you can check his stuff out. Oh, wait, I'm out of space here. Damn. Look at the description box below, and there you will find a link to his channel. You're very welcome for that, Thomas Fan 101. Also, subscribe if you like this video. Constructive criticism is welcomed in all shapes and sizes. It helps me improve my videos. And bye!